And my next guest was living the dream, you might say. A top marketing executive at Pepsi, marrying the love of her life. And as she put it, she even won over his protective Italian mother by mastering lasagna. But 10 short years later, she watched her husband take his last breath and face the reality of raising their infant daughter without him. Now, after being named Forbes' #1 most influential marketing chief, as one of the most sought-after storytellers, you might say, on the planet for brands like Apple, Uber, Netflix, Bozoma's finally sharing her trailblazing story in her new book, The Urgent Life, My Story of Love, Loss, and Survival. Please welcome my friend, global leader, business entertainment mogul, you just listed all, but most importantly, she's a woman with heart, Bozoma Saint John. Okay, first of all, before we launch into this beautiful book, let's talk about the fashion. Let's talk about who you're wearing. And you always wear red lipstick.
Yes.
That's your signature.
Yes, it is.
How did that become a part of the marketing of Boz?
Yes, well, I was once told by a very well-meaning senior executive at a company I worked at that I shouldn't wear red lipstick or red nail polish because yes, she should. See, this is what I love about the affirmation. Thank you for the affirmation. Because she said I would be too bold in rooms, that I needed to be quieter, I needed to be more humble. Okay, see, y'all should have been in the boardroom. You know what I mean? They should have been there.
That's the Tan fam. They keep it real all day.
I'm with the Tan fam, okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, they were saying shrink yourself down.
Correct. Yes. I was too loud.
Too loud.
Too loud.
You did the opposite.
Correct.
Correct.
Louder, baby.
Louder.
I mean, we got nails. Okay.
And that's a part of this book, The Urgent Life. But that's how it is now.
Yeah.
But how it started and how I got to know you was when you started to reveal what happened with your life early on.
Yes.
Our friend Gabrielle Union said of this book, The Urgent Life speaks to my very core in illustrating the miracle of a life made great even through the trauma of immeasurable loss. Quincy Jones said, Boz's story is heartbreaking yet inspiring and brings nothing but light and love to even the darkest of times. She is the definition of keep on keeping on. And I know that's exactly what she will continue to do. Those are the reviews. Let's get to the facts. You talk about a fairy tale life. You met your husband, Peter, in line at an office cafeteria.
I mean, it was very, very luxurious.
He's Italian-American from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
You're a Ghanaian.
Yes.
Could not be more different. You said Peter's and my differences in our upbringings and our culture and our families fascinated me. I'd never dated anyone quite like him before. We quickly became inseparable.
Yes. Well, I mean, I think that's what happens sometimes when love comes for you unexpectedly. You know, I think sometimes we have an idea of what it is we want, right? Maybe a storybook, maybe there's some other kind of influence that has shaped the idea of what you want. He was not what I was looking for, and which is why it surprised me so much, and I think why I was so overtaken, because I realized very quickly that love comes in all forms.
Comes in all
with all people, yeah.
You pursue this love together, but you have these barriers, cultural differences,
Yes.
his Italian mom.
Correct, okay?
And you wrote in the book that you call lasagna Lovezanya.
Yes.
Because it became a symbol of your first years of marriage, something that was so beautiful. You said, this dish of tomatoey beef and noodles became a symbol in the first years of my marriage. It was a covenant of sorts, a reminder that Peter and I were eternal newlyweds who didn't wait for Valentine's Day to express our love or Christmas to give each other gifts. I was so struck by that quote because you didn't know that he would be diagnosed with cancer.
That's right.
It would be terminal.
Right.
And you would watch him take his last breath.
That's right, yeah. Yeah.
So those moments, if you had waited on Valentine's Day, if you'd waited on Christmas, or if you'd waited on special occasions to share that love, you would not have had an opportunity.
That's right, that's right. And I think that's really a lesson that has stayed with me, that every day is a celebration. Every day needs to feel like you are doing something special. It's not every day that you need to like climb Mount Everest or do something like, grand, but it's like what happens in the small moments? How are you appreciating your life, like everyday life? What is happening in those times? Because at the end, all you're thinking about are the moments that you shared, not the big successes, not the titles, not the huge jobs. You're not thinking about that. It's just like the things that you wish you would have done and then remembering the things you did.
It took you time to get there. At the time, and you write about it in the book, a mutual friend said, go to Anguilla. You called and you said, I need to get out of here. I've got to go. I have a small baby. She was how old at the time? 4 at the time. I've got to get out of here. You went away with your daughter, and you write in such a powerful way of literally not being able to eat. That your friends were trying to push food under like there's a scene in The Color Purple where they're trying to get Suge Avery to eat.
Avery.
And they're pushing the food, they're sliding the food to try to get you to eat. So the bounce back or where you are now wasn't like that. No. You had to grieve what you thought you'd lost.
Yes.
What you knew you'd lost.
Yes. But Tamron, here's the thing is that I grieve all the time. I find it so interesting when people say like, time heals all wounds. Like when do you get over it? Are you supposed to get over it? That's not what happens. Love doesn't behave that way. Love is eternal. It will be with you forever. So that means that you are constantly grieving. You're constantly living with these things that have happened to you. And so I had to accept that.
You wrote in the book, I knew that ultimately Lael and I would have to make peace with our loss and chart a new path on our own.
Yes.
She was a baby 4.
Yeah.
Now she's a beautiful young woman. What do you want her to understand about the urgent life?
Well, there are a few things I want her to learn about the urgent life. She hasn't read the book.
She's not read the book?
She has not read the book yet. I gave her the option.
She's almost taller than you now, which is so crazy. You gave her the option to read.
Yes, I gave her the option to read. I dedicated the book to her because I wanted her to know her parents as human beings, as people, I think some of the things we went through, somebody would say, superheroes or superhuman or, people make
your nickname is Badass Bo.
Well, true, I am. That is actually true.
That is her nickname.
That is true. But I also want her to know us as humans. I want her to know us as people. And she didn't have time to know him. And so I gave her the option. I said, look, I think it's a lot of adult stuff in here. You should probably read it later when you can better understand and absorb it. But if you want to read it now, you can. And she has not yet read it. I don't know when she will. But I told her whenever she's ready, I will sit with her. I will answer all the questions, anything she wants to know. But I don't keep anything from her anyway.
It's a great lesson in parenting because when they're ready, as we know, they'll come to us.
Yes.
And this is a big thing to be ready for.
Yes.
So in many ways, you've written it in dedication to her, but you've wrote it for the world because we all grieve. We all lose focus.
That's right.
And we all sometimes forget what the urgent life is supposed to mean.
Yeah.